And then you got big, bad, I don't even know if I should call him D-Law anymore. Debo Lawrence. I mean, gotta put some respect on this guy's name, man. We gotta stop this nonsense of, oh, he doesn't get 15 sacks and all this. Guys, that ain't his. I know it sounds crazy. What do you mean, guys? Defense end. That really is. That's not what they're asking him to do. They are asking Debo Lawrence to be Debo at the line of scrimmage, set the edge, be an elite run defender, pressure the quarterback, funnel these things into Micah Parsons and these other guys. They don't need D-Law to get 10 to 15 sacks anymore. 6 to 8 is wonderful because he is the best run-stopping defensive end in the National Football League. 5 tackles, 3 stops, 2 tackles for loss, a quarterback hit. He batted the ball down. He had 3 pressures. He was simply everywhere in that game. And he is a compliment, a great compliment in my opinion, to Micah Parsons. Don't take my word for it. Both coaches after the game had glowing reviews for Demarcus Lawrence. Take a listen.
I know competing against D-Law, and he's still doing it at such a high level. I think when you play defensive end in this league, the first thing people talk about is how many sacks or pressures you have. And I learned this, in the earlier years, and that's why anytime like I see Michael Strahan, I just think of, boy, here's a guy that obviously has broken records and sacks, but he played the run as good or better, and I think D-Law is that same kind of player. He plays, I think that speaks volumes about him as a football player, because people, obviously he can pass rush and has pressures and sacks and has excellent numbers, but when they bring up how good you play the run, I think that's a huge compliment.
They've got 2 of the best ends in the league. One of them is I think the best rusher in the league, and that's Parsons. And the other 90, you can't sleep on this guy. And I don't think any of us slept on him, but I think people forget he's a complete defensive end, man. He plays the run, he's stout, he's explosive, and he can rush the passer. So
explosive, can rush the passer, he's stout, he's a complete defensive end. He is. I mean, that's stuff that a lot of Cowboys fans have already been saying, but it's good to see that other coaches they've always respected him, but he's getting the flowers that he deserves, especially after another game where, I mean, the dude just continues to put teams in bad situations when they want to run the ball early, and he's involved. He did it against Buffalo. I know it sounds crazy because Buffalo ran all over you, but a lot of the times, wasn't because of D-Law. Happened in Miami. I mean, it's been happening all year. And it was Dan Campbell, I'm going to say Quinn, who had said, when you keep getting put in second and long situations, I feel for Ben, talking about Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Lions. He said, I feel for him because I think they had something around 7 tackles for loss or starting behind the chains. And that was one of the things we talked about going into this game. Like, you got to win on early downs so the play action is eliminated. Right? This 3rd and short turns into 3rd and long. And if that's the case, it's way easier to put the heat on Jared Goff and move him off his spot. Jared Goff was atrocious in this game.